Let me know when we're ready, Wendy. We're ready to go. I'll call this meeting to order and acknowledge that we as the City of Winkler are situated on Treaty 1 land, the home of the Anishinaabe, the Cree, the Ojibwe, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect the treaties that have been made on these territories. We acknowledge that harms and mistakes have been made in the past, but we dedicate ourselves to a future based on respect of all peoples, including Indigenous communities, in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration, moving forward to a harmonious, prosperous future together. I'll ask for a motion to adopt the agenda, please.
Marvin.
Second.
Peter.
The agenda is before you. Do we need any additions to that agenda? Not seeing any. All in favor? That is carried. Council minutes of January 10th, 2023. Be it resolved that those minutes be adopted. Mover?
Don Friesen.
Second.
Don Fair.
Any questions or comments on the minutes? All in favor? Carried. Running down to finance, be it resolved that accounts payable in the amount of $704,318.59 as approved by the Finance Committee be approved for payment. Mover.
Don Friesen.
Second.
I can help.
You will see that the check registrar is listed. If you have any questions on that. All in favor? And we're carried. Continuing then to item 5.2, be it resolved that Council Indemnity Bylaw number 2293-23 be given first reading. Mover.
Peter.
Second.
Michael.
This is a bookkeeping piece that we need to do. Our pay is exactly the same as our other staff. We are subject to COLA increases, but because of the fact that we do our own approvals for our own pay, we have to make sure that we run a special piece for that. This puts it on the floor. Second and third reading will come at the next council meeting. But again, there's nothing unique about this. This is a bookkeeping piece that we need to do every year. Any questions or thoughts on that? All in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that the Finance Committee minutes for the January 19th, 2023 meeting be adopted. Mover. Do we have a mover?
Peter.
Thank you. A second?
Don Fair. Don't want to stall on this one.
The minutes are attached. Anybody have any questions on what you see there? All in favor? And that is carried. Continuing on to Transportation and Utilities. Be it resolved that the Transportation Utility Committee minutes for the January 11th, 2023 meeting be adopted. Mover?
Marvin.
Second?
Don Fair.
Marvin, have you got any comments you'd like to add to those minutes?
Well, just maybe highlight one or two
Sure.
things that were on there. Since we've had an interesting snowfall a little while back, and again tonight, we discussed that, and we had an explanation given to us on the snow clearing procedures of the city, and it's good to know, and I thank the city for posting it on our website, the information, as well as on social media, so that's good. We also discussed vehicle for hire, and that one there's going to be a bylaw reading for that in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Also a resolution regarding expansion of the Pembina Valley Watershed District, and also talked a little bit about Pembina Valley Water Co-op, a discussion on how to build or increase our capital reserve. And then, with your permission, I applaud the city for our interest in water, as we need it. That's a basic, as something like that, and for our commitment to be involved where water is, where some of our water comes from. As we know that we get about 1/3 of our water, drinking water, from the Pembina Valley Water Co., which gets most of their water from the Red River. And so for us to have a voice on the Red River Basin Commission is important. It's a body that is a cooperation between Canada and United States, between Manitoba, Minnesota, and North Dakota and South Dakota, which are all in the Red River Basin. And our mandate is to work and improve and address flooding and drought, which seem to be the opposite side of the same coin too often, and water quantity and quality. So it's very complex because it's international, and the basin, the Red River, doesn't respect political boundaries. It just goes where it wants, and so because we have the political boundaries, it can be complex working with that. So that is something that I think it's important for us to have a seat at and be part of that for ourselves as well as for our partners. So that's some of my highlights.
Very nice, appreciate that. Thank you, Marvin. Do we have any other comments on those minutes? All in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that bylaw 2296-23 to approve water and sewer rates for the city of Winkler be given first reading. Mover?
Marmon.
Second?
Michael?
Again, this simply puts it on the floor. We'll debate this further at our next meeting. All in favor? Carried. That bylaw that you were mentioning, Marvin, be it resolved that bylaw 2297-23, vehicle for hire, be given first reading. Mover?
Marvin.
Second?
Don Fair.
And as already noted, this puts it on the floor for further debate at our next meeting. All in favor? That is carried. Be it resolved that the swamp minutes for the January 18th, 2023 meeting be received for information. Mover?
Peter?
Second?
Michael?
Any additional thoughts, Peter?
We got the 2023 budget nailed down. That's completed.
Nice.
Swamp is certified now to take SRM, which is specialized risk material, which is dead stock and so forth from slaughter plants.
Nice.
So that's extra cash for us, but it also adds to the amount that we have to bury, right? But right now, we're just making sure we balance that properly so we don't take up too much space too fast. That's about it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other comments on those minutes?
Question on that. I understand there's, you use GPS positioning for where that is, and that's how it used to be, that was the requirement. I don't know if that's still part of it or not.
For tracking where we bury it,
Yes,
yes.
yeah,
They make sure they know exactly where that stuff is buried.
yeah.
It normally gets buried, they dig a hole in the existing garbage pile and put it into that, and it actually, it doesn't really use a lot of extra space. A lot of it just kind of absorbs into the existing material, so it's just kind of like putting water into a glass full of ice, right? It fills it, but it doesn't really
Right.
add to the volume, right?
Okay.
So, yeah. But then, anyway, also for the future, if ever something comes into question, they know exactly where each load is.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the Boundary Trails Health Center Foundation minutes for April to November 2022 be received for information. Mover.
Peter?
Seconder.
Marmon.
They are attached there for your reading enjoyment. Any comments or thoughts on those? Not seeing any. All those in favor? And that is carried, Jody. Be it resolved that the Planning Committee minutes for the January 12th, 2023 meeting be adopted. Mover.
Don Friesen?
Second.
Don Fair?
Any comments on those minutes?
Not much, just kind of the year in review. Start looking this vacant and derelict building bylaw, which is size of a phone book almost, so. We'll get that copy to you guys to start looking at, stuff like that. But yeah, no, lots of stuff happening and all good stuff.
It was a little bit surprising to me at first to see that. I didn't think there would be too many vacant buildings, but the second part of that is maybe the
Yep.
greater piece.
Yep.
As we run into issues at times, there's.
Which is unfortunate. We have to have bylaws in place for some issues like that. I know Winnipeg's going through that, I guess reviewing some of theirs, because they got
Yep.
serious issues there with vacant buildings. So hopefully we don't get to that point.
Well, and that was really, I think, one of the things I found really encouraging is that we're trying to get ahead of the curve rather
Yep.
than try to deal with it reactionary afterwards.
Yep, exactly.
Make sure that we're ready to go. So
Yep.
thank you for that.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts or comments? All those in favor? And that is carried. Be it resolved that the MSTW Planning District minutes and reports for December 2022 be received for information. Mover?
Don Fair.
Second?
Don Friesen?
Any comments on that?
Just that our numbers and permits are down from last year, or from 2021.
Yeah.
So we still did all right. Our contract work is still going strong. We added Arma Dufferin and Carmen to our
Nice.
contract area. So we're excited and optimistic for a very good 2023.
Good, and with the number of large projects that are lurking in the background, certainly that
Absolutely,
should be good.
yeah.
Excellent.
Do they then become part of this territory, or are you
No,
just
it's-
freelancing the?
Right, so we're
Okay.
gonna, it's still the MS, Morton, Stanley, Thompson, Winkler district, but seeing there was a need for outside municipalities for our services, we're doing contract work for them and,
Okay.
and doing inspections.
So they're not keeping up to their own as what?
Well, no, it's instead of having, see, the advantage to going with MSTW is that, first off, we go out there and inspect. If you
Okay.
would have someone that from the Office of the Fire Commission come in, they wouldn't necessarily go out and inspect. So it's ensures safety, and we can do it very quickly. Like where it could take months or weeks to get an inspection, per se, we can turn around and do it within 48 hours.
Okay,
So for developers, it's very important that the turnaround time is quick so that they can continue with their projects. And that's a big problem with a lot of developers that want, or contractors that want to finish a project in an efficient manner. If that's not done, it just costs them extra money. So that's why a lot of contractors like working with MSCW, because it's a very short turnaround for inspection.
good.
And it's really a very good win-win-win type of scenario. It's an opportunity for MSTW to generate some additional funds, an opportunity for us to be good neighbors to the
Exactly.
municipalities around. And then, like you said, instead of waiting weeks for an inspection and have a project fully stalled, to now be able to turn around and do it fairly quickly and be able to continue to go.
Absolutely.
So that's really nice to see.
And we're going to, for accounting purposes for next year, we're going to pull that subcontract work separate line.
Nice.
So that way we always know what is that office actually costing us. So we know our expenses, stuff like that, without the subcontract work.
Right.
So it'll still keep a nice picture of what it's supposed to be doing, but that's
Right.
just the bonus. Yeah, it's a good thing.
Very nice.
Yep.
Good.
All in favor? And those are carried. Be it resolved that the Discover Nature Sanctuary Committee minutes for December 8th, 2022 be received for information. Mover?
Don Friesen?
Second?
Peter?
Minutes were attached. Does anybody have comments on what they saw?
That's interesting and good to see that even in winter, they're still, moving forward and planning for the next coming, or for the coming season there, so.
That committee's got a lot of things going on all the time.
Absolutely,
It's
yeah.
nice to see. All in favor? Carried. Moving forward then, be it resolved that the Winkler Centennial Golf Course minutes for the January 11th, 2023 meeting be received for information. Mover.
Michael?
Second.
Marvin?
Again, attached. Any comments on what you see there, Michael?
Not a whole lot. I mean, most of their staff are returning, so that's very exciting. They're, yeah, preparing for another good season ahead and looking forward to that.
AGM coming up?
Yes.
13th, right?
The AGM, yeah, I don't
February
remember what day.
February 13th.
February 13th.
Yeah.
I would imagine as a board to have
Right, it's in there.
staffing back rather than that wholesale change that they dealt with last year
compared
will
to
be.
this time last year is definitely much easier breathing than last year.
I can imagine, and we will keep our fingers crossed for lots of sunshine this
Yeah.
summer and a good golfing season. All in favor? Carried. Moving into, be it resolved that the Explore Morden Winkler Board minutes for January 10th, 2023 meeting be received for information. Mover.
Michael?
Second.
Don Fair?
Anything there, Michael, you'd like to add past what we see in the minutes?
Outside of the minutes, they are kind of huddling and regrouping, coming up with some new plans going forward, and yeah, trying to figure out their best path moving ahead.
I think the challenge that we've gone through for the last several years, now trying to relaunch and figure it out, it's good to take a breath and make sure that there's a good plan moving forward.
Yeah.
Good on that board. All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the Regional Connections Board minutes and reports from January 19th, 2023 be received for information. Mover?
Michael?
Second.
Peter?
Any comments on what's attached?
And that is a group that is very agile and fluid. They always
Good description.
changing, even their RAP program, their refugee assistance. They started off with 2 people in that department, and the number of families, primarily Ukrainian, the last 6 months that have settled at least temporarily out here. They've had to double their employment to 4 employees just to manage the workload.
Wow.
And yeah, and that's amongst all the other kind of changing on the fly they've had to do.
Yeah, I think that world is sometimes difficult to find out which way is up or down.
Yeah.
So, well done on them. All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the Community Services Committee minutes for the January 10th, 2023 meeting be adopted. Mover?
Peter?
Second?
I'll help out, Don Fair.
Thank you. Minutes are attached there. Is there anything there that anybody would like to speak to?
I was there, and we continue to be impressed at how we're learning to fill the new building and to juggle the hard floor and the turf and the icon, or the ice rink and so on.
Yeah.
But it's coming along really nicely, so it's great to see.
And even those morning meetings when we're there to
Yeah.
see that walking track in constant use is really, really good to see. Anything further? All in favor? Carried. That takes us to our delegations and hearings. Be it resolved that this meeting of council recess for the purpose of holding public hearings. Mover?
Don Friesen.
Second?
Michael?
All in favor? Carried. Jody, I'll give it to you then.
So first, we have a public hearing for variance application 2022-038 and conditional use 2023-001. On both of these, the applicant and owner is Valley Fiber Limited. Purpose here is to construct a 195-foot communications tower. And the variance request is to reduce rear yard and side yard setbacks. And the conditional use is because towers over 49.2 feet are a conditional use in the commercial highway zone. And we have not received any objections for these applications.
Is there anybody here today wishing to speak to that?
I represent Valley Fiber.
What's that?
I represent Valley Fiber.
Oh, excellent. So you're here to help us if we have any questions.
That's right.
Well, that sounds good. Thank you. Is there anything that you feel that you would like to add?
Nothing really.
Okay, just here to answer questions if needed. Excellent. Does council have any thoughts, any questions that we'd like to ask here?
Just glad they had the diagram with the fall circle just to make sure it didn't fall on our water treatment plant, which is good.
Yes.
Yep.
Those are good things
Yeah.
to see.
In that case, be it resolved that the public hearing for variation VA 2022-038 and conditional use CU 2023-001 be closed. Mover?
Peter?
Second?
Michael?
All in favor? That is carried. Be it resolved that council approve conditional use number CU 2023-001. Mover.
Don Fair?
Second?
On Friesen?
Thoughts or comments? All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that council approve variance number VA 2022-038. Mover.
Marvin?
Second.
Peter?
Thoughts, comments? All in favor? Carried. That takes us to bylaw 2292-23, Jody?
Okay, these are,
Bergen rezoning?
yeah, this is,
Or the-
so this is actually the public hearing for the variation applications, so that, yeah. Yeah, and that's the bylaw that goes along with it, yeah.
Perfect.
right. So the public hearing is for two variance applications, 2022-035 and 2022-036. And applicant and owners on both of these are Doug and Naomi Bergen. And the purpose here is to construct single-unit dwellings on the proposed lots that are in the drawings there. And the variants are to reduce side width on proposed lot 2 and also the side width on proposed lot 4. You have a report to council there. This is a subdivision that has already previously come to council along with a few other items. And so these are the variations that go along with that subdivision. And we have not received any objections to these applications.
Okay, any thoughts or comments here? Okay, in that case, be it resolved that the public hearing for bylaw 2292-23 be closed. Mover?
Michael?
Second?
Peter?
All in favor? Carried?
We should actually have the approval of those variations.
Did I miss one there, Jody?
No, I don't think it's in here. So simply, the motions would be to approve those two variations. And we should read those out.
Okay, if you've got them, Jody, I'll get you to read them out, and then I'll look for a mover and a
Is
seconder.
that what's in the shared notes there?
I think that's where it would be.
I think it is there. Yeah. So the wording is there
There
in the
we are.
shared notes.
I see
yeah.
it now. Thank you. Be it resolved that council approve variance number VA 2022-35. Be it further resolved that council approve variance number VA 2022-036. Mover,
Marvin?
second.
Don Fair?
Additional thoughts or questions? You see the shared notes there, they give you the detail that we need. All those in favor? That is carried.
And then we can move to the bylaw.
Okay. That then takes us to closing the hearing for 2292-23.
Correct.
When we've done that, we will then look now for an approval. Be it resolved that bylaw 2292-23 be given second reading. Mover,
Michael?
second.
Don Fair?
Thoughts or comments? All in favor? Be it resolved that bylaw 2292-23 be given third reading, subject to the registration of number 4463-18-7794. Mover.
Peter?
Second.
On reason.
Any final comments before we approve?
Should we drag this out a little longer, maybe this?
I think this is about the max, Don.
Don, these people are very tired here.
All in favor? That is carried.
No, and I would like to just say, to that point, thank you very much for working with the city and for the city for working together with you to get this to where hopefully everybody's satisfied. So
Yeah.
it's great.
Good. Yeah, good. No, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Yep.
See it done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be it resolved that public hearings be adjourned and regular council reconvene. Mover?
Michael?
Second.
Peter?
All in favor? We're carried. That takes us to our other business, and as we have the privilege quite often of having community organizations come and share a little bit of the work that they do with us. And this evening, we're lucky enough to have the Winkler Community Foundation join us, and they're going to make a short presentation to tell us of the work they do in the community.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Myra Peters. I'm the Winkler Community Foundation Executive Director. And this is Corey Hildebrandt, and he's the president, and together we're going to make a short presentation for you.
Excellent.
The purpose of the presentation is to educate city leadership about the Winkler Community Foundation and to continue dialogue between the city council and the foundation to work together to better serve our community. And I should actually stop and say, I actually have board representatives here, and I was meant
Yes, you
to
do.
just mention them, and I, moved ahead. So thank you, board members, for coming. First off, we want to thank the city of Winkler for their support over the years. Giving you a little background, you've provided office space, extended insurance coverage, financial contributions towards vital signs, and most recently, the partnership in the Giving Challenge as a stretching sponsor. Your support is greatly appreciated. So the Winkler Community Foundation is a member of Endow Manitoba and Community Foundations of Canada. Currently, there are 201 community foundations across Canada in cities, towns, and rural areas, with 56 of these in Manitoba. So that's why Endow Manitoba was formed to support the population of community foundations in our province. Community Foundation Network supports each other to build stronger communities by enhancing philanthropic leadership of community foundations. So what is a community foundation? We're a platform for building community. We're a community-based charity that helps other local charities and nonprofits in an effort to make Winkler a better place to live, work, and play in. A community foundation is a trustee of gifts from generous donors. All gifts are pooled with the foundation's assets and invested through careful financial management. Earnings from the investments are used to award grants. So just a little bit of history on who we are. Max Gladstone had a vision to initiate a community foundation within the Winkler, the town of Winkler. In the 80s, Max gifted $10,000 to the town of Winkler to fulfill this vision, and the contribution sat dormant for several years, thanks to local businessmen who accepted a provincial stretching challenge by the Thomas Hill Foundation and created the Winkler Community Foundation in 1994. 2 years later, granting began, and since then we've granted over $2.3 million back into our community
That's awesome.
to support community initiatives.
The Winkler Community Foundation makes it our business to identify our community's needs and respond in ways that allow for Winkler to be the best possible place to dream, build, and live. This happens in a variety of ways, one of which involves being deliberate about the recruitment of our board of directors, making sure that we represent a cross-section of our population. The Winkler Community Foundation has 3 pillars. We grow, we give, and we inspire. We grow by accepting donations from the general public and pooling them into endowments to earn investment revenue. We give by taking a percentage of the investment revenue and distributing it to the needs of our community. And we inspire by being catalysts that help to lead the way in starting important conversations and projects, as well as by building partnerships that give organizations and charities what they need to help them finish well. So what makes us different from other charities is that donations made to the Community Foundation are never spent. They're invested. And it's from the investment revenue that we're able to distribute grants to local organizations year after year. Since the invested capital is never spent, your gifts support community forever. Each November, we participate in the Endow Manitoba Giving Challenge. It's where the province of Manitoba and the Winnipeg Foundation challenge all community foundations in Manitoba to raise community fund dollars. This is the fund that the majority of our grants come from. And so the province, as well as Endow Manitoba, each committed $1 for every $5 raised, to a maximum of $2,000 per foundation. This stretching opportunity inspired our board of directors to look for additional stretching sponsors. This included the city of Winkler. So 3 years ago, our board of directors set out a large goal to raise our community fund dollars to a value of $1 million. We knew that this goal would stretch us, and we gave ourselves 5 years to complete this task. Thanks to the core value of generosity in our community, this year's challenge was our biggest success ever. We brought in $181,657 for the community fund, putting Winkler in first place in our province among the other 56 foundations. We reached our goal of $1 million 2 years early. As we have already mentioned, this money is never spent. It's invested, and the interest earned is granted back into the community annually to local charitable projects and programs. So this year's contributions mean each year there will be an additional just shy of $10,000 in additional grants impacting our community. And in 20 years, we will have granted the full amount raised back into the community. And it doesn't stop there. The capital is never spent and will continue to give back forever, like I mentioned. It is this community endowment fund that provides funds for all of our local grant making. So each year, grants are awarded to charities in the city of Winkler and surrounding area. The grants support a wide range of causes including investing in our children and our families, seniors, health and medical equipment, education, the arts, social services, and many local students through education awards. In 2023, we granted over $100,000 in scholarships to our local students so that they can continue to further their education.
All for community. As Corey mentioned earlier, the Winkler Community Foundation inspires community partnerships and leadership initiatives. The Winkler Community Foundation is here for our community. We continue to look for ways that we can partner with businesses, organizations, and individuals that are passionate about our community and want to make a positive difference. It is our goal to build a stronger community together. Vital Signs is one of those initiatives that we have seen benefit our community. This report measures the health of our community and supports action towards improving collective quality of life. We know this is an important resource for community. Through this report, the foundation serves as a trusted resource of information and provides a detailed understanding of local issues in an open and transparent way. Our challenge currently is our capacity. And so we are in need of a project manager, and we have started conversations and will continue to work towards engaging the right people to make this project happen. We are working towards another report to be launched in 2024. And so at this time, we just want to invite any questions that you might have for us. We look forward to engaging further conversations with the city regarding possibilities that exist in working together.
Found it interesting that Max Gladstone was the guy that started it. Has anybody else had coffee with Max Gladstone besides me? No?
I have,
Yeah?
not recently.
It's been a while,
Yes.
yeah, but I ran into him at the snack bar many years ago on a Sunday morning, and interesting fellow to talk to he was, yeah.
He was.
Even did a bit of plow teach with him, so it was,
And I wish I had the opportunity to meet him, because I'd love to have pick his brain a little bit on what his vision had been.
yeah, he was a huge part of the community back then, for sure.
Okay.
Thank you for taking a little bit of time to come and share some of the work that you do. I have the opportunity to sit on your board with you and am impressed with how engaged and involved and committed a board you have that is there, really, as we said, to give in perpetuity. It's an awesome responsibility, and it's good to see a really good group of people there committed to making sure that that is for good. And it's nice to see. So thank you very much for the work that you do. Thank you for your presentation here this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Good evening.
Thank you.
We are down to questions from media or public. Nothing there. I will then ask for a motion to adjourn.
Peter?
Peter, second, Don Fair. All in favor? We're carried.